This is what happens when you invite a broadcaster, someone who talked for a living, to come and speak to you on your special day. Well, the first thing I must do is thank Professor Richard Aldrich for that very humbling speech and testimony, and I'm deeply grateful to him and the department for inviting me here today to share in what is your special day. So congratulations to all of you on graduation and to your families. I know how important a moment this is for you. You know, as Professor Aldrich said, I'm an LSE guy, and so to be recognised here is particularly touching and valuable to me. And for a lot of my life, I've basically gone on and talked for a living. It is, though, an extraordinarily good moment to be talking to you guys in terms of the business of journalism, the way we find truth in our society, and what awaits you guys out there. Now, some of you will think enough already with university. Some of you will be headed back into academia. And much of what I've got to say relates to academia. We are at a really, really significant moment. I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures of people on the beaches in Thailand in 2011 when the water suddenly went down and everything went very still. Similar things we've seen in other places in Japan in more recent years and other places. The imminent arrival of a tsunami. Our little water going down moment has happened over the last year or so, when people have said things like they've looked at pictures and said, oh, look at that, he's got 6 fingers. We don't have to worry about that. That's obviously AI. And I saw a photo of generated by AI of the man who stood in front of the tanks in Beijing in 1989, the so-called tank man, as if he'd taken a selfie in front of those tanks. Well, to me, as a tank guy, I could see all sorts of things wrong with the tanks in the photo. It was very easy to spot it. But we're now well past that point, and what we face now is the tsunami, and the tsunami is of AI-enabled manipulation of information and disinformation. And one only has to think about some of the ways this could be used and abused, for example, to stir up feeling against immigrants, or to produce a fake video of kids being massacred by a warring party in some part of the world, or a fake speech by a leading politician. The AI is getting so good that it's becoming quite hard now to distinguish the reality from the AI. And that is really serious, I think, and it goes to the sense, at the heart of the sense of where will we find truth in our society. Now, I think everyone is going to play a role in that. All of you of your generation, as you go out into the world, you know, to be wise scrutineers of what you see and hear and ask yourself the question, is it real? But I think we can also see that there is a very particular responsibility for academia. Now, chatting to people over lunch, you know, we were talking about to what extent are students now using ChatGPT and other AI tools to do their coursework or write their essays. And all of that is you know, going to be something that's going to have to be looked at very, very carefully, because I have a feeling that the moment at which what you might call mainstream media, the old-fashioned media like the BBC, could serve as the ultimate arbiter of what was true and what is not true, has passed, and that a key responsibility now rests with academia as the kind of repository, the university libraries and the university know-how and lived experience remains a vital repository of what was true before this age, before the tsunami of disinformation arrived. And I've noticed now the conversation is beginning about how is academia, how is the university experience going to be in some way closed off from all of this. And Niall Ferguson has written an article recently and he's talked about the cloister. Now, his idea of the cloister is that you will have device-free areas of the university, such as the library, where you will have to read the books and, you know, you'll have to make your notes the old-fashioned way. All of this in an attempt to try and isolate the student from some of the influences that are out there, and some of the disinformation, some of the distortion of information, and of course exams to be done in the same way, old school, in a supervised environment without networked devices. It's one idea. I mean, I think it places a big a burden and a big responsibility on academia in the years going forward, but it's a vitally important one. I would even say, as you guys head out of here on your graduation day, it's so important that one can say the future of humanity, in the best Doctor Who tradition, is in your hands. So congratulations and thank you for your kind reception today.